Hi everybody, this is SAAD. As some of you who follow my work may remember, in May 2017, I appeared in front of the Canadian Senate to speak about certain concerns that all clear-thinking people should have regarding Bill C-16, which is the bill that incorporated gender expression and gender identity within the hate crime rubric. And of course, excuse me, I explained in my testimony, which I will add at the end of this clip for you to go and watch it. I explained that, of course, I support the right of every individual to live free of discrimination and bigotry in a just society. That doesn't mean, though, that we should throw common sense, logic, reason, science out of the window in trying to do so. And so I gave as a context, if I were to teach my material on evolutionary psychology, if I spoke about sexual selection, if I spoke about sex differences, all of these things could be construed as, quote, fixed binaries and biological essentialism, close quote, as the good folks at Harvard University have told us. That would be promulgating transphobia. And when I was trying to explain that there is a slippery slope and that we shouldn't allow the tyranny of the minority to rule the majority, the liberal senators in the room scoffed and laughed in ways that are truly only embarrassing to themselves. History won't judge them well. Well, over the past year and a half or so, there have been innumerable examples that exactly speak about my prophetic predictions. Let's add this one to the list. Now, this is coming from the Federalist. Oh, this must be fake because they must be a right-wing Nazi website. This was published on November 14th. School punishes male teacher for refusing to watch a naked girl in the boys' locker room. So let me read you the first few paragraphs of this article, and I'll put the link to the full article in the description section. A Florida school district allowed a self-described transgender female student regular access to the boys' locker room with no advance warning to the boys or their parents. Let me explain what this means in case you're confused in case you need a flow chart to understand all these terms. So this is a biological girl who self-identify as a boy, and so she just walks into the boys' room as they're changing. The first time she walked in, she caught, quote, boys literally with their pants down, causing them embarrassment and concern by the fact that they had been observed changing by an obvious girl, close quote, says a complaint letter to Pasco County School District from Liberty Counsel, a pro bono constitutional law firm. With a gag order, school administrators forbade teachers from talking about the change and ordered a male phys ed teacher to supervise the potentially undressed girl in the Chasco Middle School locker room, the letter says, when he refused to, quote, knowingly place himself in a position to observe a minor female in the nude or otherwise in a state of undress, close quote. Administrators told him, quote, he will be transferred to another school as discipline for not doing your job in the locker room, close quote. In an email, an administrator initially threatened to put the male coach on administrative leave, telling him that refusing to supervise a potentially naked female student would, quote, not be tolerated, close quote, said Liberty Counsel attorney Richard Mast. The school's other phys ed teacher, who was female, also objected and was ignored. Pasco parents have yet to be informed by the school of this situation, yet the transgender student continues to have open access to private male areas according to Liberty Counsel. I'll stop right there. So let me summarize again for you. A young girl, biological girl, who identifies as a boy, starts walking into the boys' room where they are undressed. Of course, if they feel uncomfortable upon seeing a obvious biological girl seeing them naked, they are Nazi bigots because she's a boy, because she just has to say she self-identifies as a boy, and therefore they should no longer feel any reticence. If they do, they're bigoted transphobes. Excuse me. If a teacher is reticent to watch the biological girl change in the locker rooms because he feels uncomfortable specifically seeing an underage girl undressing, he is a transphobic bigot because she's not a little girl, she's a boy, and therefore if he is in the locker room seeing other boys undressing as part of his phys ed duties, then the biological girl who self-identifies as a boy is no different. So the young boys are not allowed to feel reticent at having a biological girl barge into the room seeing them naked. And a phys ed teacher is not allowed to feel uncomfortable seeing a biological young girl undress. That makes him a transphobe. The liberal senators scoffed and laughed at me when I warned them. Have a good weekend, everybody.